Muévete en el espejo, muévete en el espejo, enamórate del. I used to see this guy on Instagram, and he was dating different girls and I knew both of them. And sometimes he'd kick it with one of them, and then he'd have the same outfit as when he kicked it with the other one. I'd be like, damn. That's funny, huh? Okay. Let's start. So first of all, thanks everybody who's been supporting us and follows us and reposts us and all the things. It means a lot. Damn, this is so gross. When I cracked it, it was more trash underneath the lid.
You just don't know how to clean.
I hope I don't swallow one of those little things.
Hella tobacco.
I better be twacked out.
Hella panda espresso.
Because a dry panda is hard.
Glitter from Mel. Fucking, that's what you got in your super amount.
All the microplastics. Okay, so thank you everybody who supports us, follows us, reposts us, even though Will and Jay don't. It's nice that other people pick up the slack and support the project. Even more than the people whose project it actually is. See, here we fucking go with that.
Alright, yeah.
The little feet. So thank you guys. It means a lot. We're having a great time, as you can tell here. It's really fun. I'm like, help. No, we're having a great time. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't know me that follow the page. So it means a lot that you just like found a complete stranger online and you're deciding to support me. That really means a lot. I feel like when you get the desire to speak, it means that God is opening the ears of those that are meant to listen. So I really have that message with me always. And I know that when I get the inspiration or when I feel motivation to share stuff or make myself vulnerable and go out and share what I have to say, that means that there's a lot of people out there that are getting prepared to receive the message. So it means a lot, and I'm excited to see this project grow. Every day's a learning experience. I feel like even being here, I always have to dress like a sit-down outfit because I look different when I'm standing up, and then when I'm sitting down, the outfit looks completely different. So I've just had to learn like a lot of different things. And I do have some notes today. I brought my tarot deck, but we don't have a table yet. So maybe next time. I ordered a table on Amazon, so make a float. We use one of the speakers.
So you can see it's a real studio.
I know it is a real studio.
Chewy's back.
Get on all fours.
Why is he blushing?
He's into it.
I think he was thinking about it.
Okay, damn. So last week was the Super Bowl, or when was it? On the weekend. I personally don't watch the Super Bowl, El Super Tazón. I don't watch it because I don't believe in sports. I feel like ancient Rome failed because of that. Remember, I was talking about ancient Rome for the Valentine's Day thing? Like, they're crazy. It's fake, or it just it's not really relevant. I think it's another way to keep us complacent and entertained. I think it's funny that guys like to watch other guys really sweaty, chasing balls, rubbing on each other.
Let's go.
I don't like it. I think I had to play soccer. Like any Mexican child, when I was little, I had to play soccer. But other than that, I never played sports. And when I watch it, I can understand what's happening because I'm not a fucking moron, you know? Like, it's basic, like, the moves and stuff, but I don't know. There's something underneath, I don't really like it. But what I do like is the commentary, like the climate changes after the Super Bowl, right? I'm kind of like David Vlogs, how he's like, he doesn't litter, but then he gets other people to litter for him. That's like me. Like, I don't watch the Super Bowl, but I'll listen and I'll read all the tweets. Same with like movies or shows and stuff. Like, I won't watch it, but I'll watch like the reviews and I'll watch the videos with all the spoilers because I want to know what they're saying about it, but I don't have the capacity to watch. So I thought it was interesting. A lot of things happened at the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, Taylor Swift was there, and everybody's really excited about that. And then they had that Jesus commercial, which I thought was really intense because they brought in the idea of Jesus now, where before Jesus was like this conservative, Republican, white character, and now he's like washing a gay person's feet, which I feel like a lot of white Christian Republican people were not very pleased with that. And I was on TikTok and people were like against the commercial. And it's like, I don't know, it had this air like Jesus was too accepting, or like Jesus was too liberal in this commercial and they didn't like it. But that's like, Jesus is love and acceptance. I thought that was kind of funny. And then another thing that happened at the Super Bowl was the Alicia Keys, how she missed a note in the beginning of the show. Her voice cracked, right? And then they edited it, and when you watch it on YouTube, like the ESPN YouTube, it sounds perfect. And there's no disclaimer like this footage has been edited and it's a historic event. It's a historic event. The Super Bowl is a historic event. It's one of the biggest events in the U.S. How long? Is it every year? Or is it every couple of years? It's every year? Really?
Every February.
I'm like, what was I doing last year in February? I don't remember.
It just probably wasn't as big for everybody.
Oh, because the 49ers.
You know what I mean?
Who went to the Super Bowl last year?
Chiefs.
Oh yeah, Chiefs and.
Oh, yeah, because they got 2 in a row, right? Yeah. The Chiefs won.
Last year they won.
Yeah.
And they won again this year?
Yeah.
Wow, good for them. I didn't know that. No, congratulations. I didn't know that. I told you I don't care. Shut it down. So basically, okay, it's one of the biggest events in U.S. history, I feel like, because there's so many people watching it, it's a huge deal. The TVs go on sale, everything. So then they edited the clip. So they're telling you this media is modified. Like, that now. So what else is modified? Is this gonna be a norm? Aren't they just now being like more blatant about it? So that, to me, I feel like that's alarming. And it might not seem alarming like at face value, but if you really think about it, that's very alarming. Because they're like in real time Mandela affecting us. Like, when your kids are in their 40s and then they look back, they're going to be like, oh, did you know that Alicia Keys' voice cracked? And by then, they might have wiped out all of the footage where her voice did crack, and it's just rewriting history. But we're getting to see it in real time. So that shit was kind of scary to me. Or not really scary, but just concerning, I would say.
Wasn't there a streaker?
Was there a streaker?
Yeah, they said someone was on the field.
Yeah.
Partial.
I wish there was footage of
They didn't
that.
show it yet.
Nobody has footage of that.
Of the streaker?
Yeah.
I also saw like there was people there, but they didn't get no airtime. Like Paul Rudd was at the Super Bowl, but they never showed him. And then I've seen a bunch of his photos that like people took because they were there.
Peso Pluma was there too.
Peso Pluma was there. See?
Everybody was there.
That was
When Taylor's there. Taylor gang, you feel me?
That was weird. I think this year's Super Bowl was like very telling of our times. Like, from everything. The pop star relationship with the player, the commercials that they aired. What else? Who won? Me and Will get into it all the time because I'm like, you knew who was going to win. You knew who was going to go to the Super Bowl because the cakes at Safeway were already there like a week before the people even won to go. And then remember they were on the news, it would be like the Super Bowl performance, Reba McEntire, so-and-so, so-and-so, Usher, whoever. And they were announcing the Super Bowl like a week before the people even won to go to the Super Bowl. So, are you guys...
They know it was the Super Bowl who was gonna perform. They didn't know who was gonna play.
They did know who they announced the teams that were playing before they played to go to the Super Bowl.
Because it's only at that point, it's only a few teams that have the possibility of going. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's really hard to rig that, like who actually goes. You know what I mean? But I feel like the NFL knew that they were in an upper hand that the Chiefs would go. If the Chiefs go again, and they would capitalize on the whole Taylor Swift thing, and then they'll have data for that to see if that any women like tune in now because of that. You know what I mean? So.
And then you guys were telling me about the performers when I was like, why did Usher Raymond perform? Like, if he's already been famous, like he was famous when I was a kid. And then what did you say that like they weren't letting urban artists perform at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, because it went bad with Janet Jackson.
Oh, right.
It was whatever was popping on the charts. You know what I mean? And then that happened, and it was like, no, it's not together. You know what I mean? Only people that have it together, they've been touring for fucking 25 years, and they've never had like mishaps and like, you know what I mean? And like, I feel like it's a lot more that goes on behind scenes when it comes to organizing that together. That it's probably easy for the NFL to have shit slip through their hands. You know what I mean? So they're like, okay, it's based on the organization that we pick up. You know what I mean? So it's got to be like, you know what I mean? If it's like urban, then it's got to be like, you know what I mean? Somebody that's been doing it for however long. You know?
When did they let the urban artists back?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre was the first one back after Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
I remember Travis Scott performed.
Where?
At the Super Bowl, right? Or something. I don't remember. I don't really care, to be honest. And my brain does this thing where like if it's too much information, it just deletes it. So I can't really retain like a lot of memories.
19.
See, I knew he performed sometime. That's like the only person I remember to perform at the Super Bowl. And then remember when Shakira and J-Lo performed? And then there was that documentary.
Yeah.
And then there was hella beef because J-Lo said, this is the worst idea ever to have performed with Shakira. So they were beefing, quote unquote. But then really the context of that was that there wasn't enough time for both of them because they had such a huge repertoire of music that they couldn't both possibly perform enough of their songs, and they had to cut each song to like 6 seconds each song. And it was like really challenging for them to perform together. So yeah, the performances, I feel like that's what I'm talking about. I didn't watch it. I still to this day have not watched it, but I watch all the clips on Twitter and Instagram. I saw it like on TikTok lives when it was on, but I haven't seen like clips on TikTok that much. But this year's was really weird, I think. And I feel like it continues to stir the pot about just the things happening in the world. And then Valentine's Day was yesterday. I feel like this was a really cute Valentine's Day. Everything I saw was like so adorable on Valentine's Day. And I feel like people really went out of their way this year for each other. I had a really nice Valentine's Day. This whole week was like really sweet to me. I feel like I'm going through a period in my life where even with this project, like I have to open my heart. Like it's all in the heart. And usually I'm not like a sensitive person. Like I'm not that nice. I'm not like too friendly. I went to the club the other day, and then I just could feel like the resting bitch face on me. And I was like, there's no way anyone's going to come talk to me tonight. Like, I could feel people like looking at me like she looks like Cruella DeVille or something. So this, I feel like, is forcing me to want to care about you guys, because I don't. It's not that I don't care about people. I do care about people, but I feel like this season is like making me realize how much more I have to open my heart. So I feel like Valentine's Day was really special to me for that. I thought it was so cute. I also think like being online more and like having more access to regular people and seeing the things they do was really cute. One thing I didn't like, this is the only thing I didn't like about Valentine's this year, is that girls' nail trends was like having a white nail and little red hearts, and then the little red hearts look like your nail polish was chipping, and I didn't like that. And I saw a lot of girls that had that nails, and I was like, why the fuck is her nails chipping and it's Valentine's Day? Or like it looks done but it looks chipped, and I would look closer and it'd be little hearts. I'm like, no, that's bad design. But that was the only thing I didn't like about the entire Valentine's Day this year. And I learned the history of Valentine's Day that I didn't know. I have some notes. This one I thought it was really interesting. So there's this guy, his name is Dr. Stephen Greer, and basically he talks about aliens a lot. Like, this guy's obsessed with aliens. He says he's seen aliens. I used to date this guy, and one time he showed me this documentary about this guy, Stephen Greer. And he has this app that's called CE5. And basically you download the app, and the first thing you do is like you assemble a group of people that also believe in aliens. And they all get together, and then on the app there's like these meditations you do, and basically in the meditation you are trying to contact the ETs, and you're imagining like a pin of where you are. Like, you imagine a map and then a pin in the map, so it's kind of like you're giving them your coordinates for them to come find you. And in this documentary I saw photos of like people sitting on lawn chairs outside at the beach, and like these really bright rays of light in the photos, like, and they're outside. There's no lighting, nothing. And there's just like huge like rays of light that are like, I guess, amongst the people. And apparently they've come in contact with aliens like that. And this guy, he's like all about it. There's a lot of content. Like, if you Google him, Stephen Greer, or if you look him up, he has like a Gaia TV show. He's like all about that. So basically he sat down with Logan Paul, and that's another crazy part, because now, remember we were talking about that, and you were like, I was like, why does nobody care about the particle collider? And you're like, because Logan Paul's not talking about it. Like, it's important, but they're not bringing it to this generation, or they're not making it something to talk about, right? So now they have this guy, Stephen Greer, talking to Logan Paul. So now he's coming in contact with the whole other generation or demographic of people. And basically what he was talking about is Project Bluebeam. And what he calls it, when he was explaining it, it's like Project Bluebeam, very obviously. But he was saying that there is a plan. He calls it a hoax alien threat. And he's saying that this plan has been going on, and this year is the last year before they bring it to pass. And basically it'll be an alien threat where it'll be, in his words, he said it'll be 1,000 times worse than the Iraq War and 9/11. And I think that's as far as like us knowing about it. You know how like the Iraq War was like this huge deal, and there was a lot of propaganda, like anti-Muslim propaganda. There was a lot of, especially after 9/11, like we were really united as Americans because it was against like this other country or other demographic of people. So he's saying that it'll be 1,000 times worse than that, and it'll be that there's a group of people who control this narrative, and I'm assuming it's part of the U.S. government, obviously, because they're getting a pass at like sharing this information, and that they've been feeding. You know how like on the news it'll say like we come in contact with aliens, or now they have like places where they have them there, if they've spoken to them or whatever. And even didn't Donald Trump say like that he's gonna protect us from the aliens or something? Didn't he say that in like a press conference? Do you remember that?
I think he meant Mexicans.
He meant Mexicans? He didn't mean ETs. So he's saying that this group is trying to provoke an interplanetary conflict, and that basically World War III will be an interplanetary war, and it'll be a way to basically unite all people and become very complacent, and like you'll be obeying the government more because now there's an interplanetary threat from aliens outside of obviously the earth. And it's like national security type beat, you know? It's like, I just thought it was crazy that he's coming out and saying that, because he's obviously an expert. That's like his whole career is aliens. And I think according to him, I don't remember what he was talking about, but the aliens are not harmful. And if I can remember correctly, when they have these encounters with the aliens, they heal people or something like that. Because I remember the guy that showed me the documentary, he had like a torn ACL or something, and he was like, if I was there, I would ask them to fix my ACL. So I think like his belief is that they're benevolent beings, that they're not all evil. And then his claim is that they're making them out to be like this really terrible race or species of creature, and it'll be a threat to the planet, to the country. Because this is like American nationalism type. So I feel like if it's threatening the country, it's obviously threatening the planet on a greater scale, if that's like the narrative. But it'll be like very focused on the US. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in aliens. I don't know. I never had an opinion about aliens. But every time I think of an alien, it doesn't sound good. Like, it doesn't feel like warm and they're going to heal my ACL. I don't know. I had a dream about aliens recently. Remember I told you the Daniela Rodriguez? Oh, and Daniela Rodriguez, she talks a lot about aliens too. But I had a dream that I was hanging out with her, and then the alien from The Simpsons, isn't he supposed to be Maggie's dad or something like that? The one with one tooth, and he has like one tooth, and then Maggie also has one tooth.
The green one from space?
Yeah, and they like come in a saucer, and it's like the sauce. Yeah.
I don't know, I probably didn't see that episode.
Okay, so in my dream, it was the aliens from The Simpsons. And I was with Daniela Rodriguez, and then the alien would come and like pull me down to a really, really low vibration. I'd be like, couldn't breathe. And then I would start praying. And then I would pray so much that I would turn into a white man. And then like it was like my prayer was so powerful that I became a white man, the most powerful being in the world. And then it would like save me. You know, obviously they're not the most powerful. I'm the most powerful. But in my dream, I was really like stressed out. And then I woke up out of that dream and I just didn't feel good. That's the only alien encounter I've ever had. That's the only encounter with aliens I've ever had. And it was not good.
From The Simpsons, or was it like
Yeah.
realistic? It just seemed like it resembled the
No, it was the alien from The Simpsons would pull me down.
But it was cartoon.
Yes, it was a cartoon, and it would pull me down into a low vibration. And then once I was there, the alien was gone. It was like they only used the image of the alien to pull me down. Like, Like, it let me know that it was the alien taking me down there. And then I would be like, it was hurting me. It was like harming me. So I don't believe in aliens. Or I don't know. I had a lot of conversations because, so for example, right, like Jesus was not of the world. Right? Jesus was not of the world. That means he was an ET. And then he was not born like humans. He was inseminated by a Freudian slip. He was inseminated by an angel of God. And then also God is not here. God is not of the world. Or maybe God made the world. I don't know. Jesus not even alien is what I mean. But
God is bigger than aliens.
Yeah, obviously God is bigger than aliens, but what about Jesus? Is Jesus an alien?
Huh?
Is Jesus technically the technical term?
If you get into that.
Technically the term, right? Is like not of this world, not of earth.
When he was here, they killed him here. Oh, he's from here.
I think everything.
Nah, Jesus from here. You feel?
Jay said he thinks everything's AI.
No, if they can make a picture, you know, like an AI alien with some high beams. And
Yeah. So
they're gonna drop an alien on Miami Beach, bro, and he's gonna be like, "What's up?"
they already did that.
I know everything. Yeah, see? He's gonna be like, "What's up, bitches? I'm back." You know what I mean? And he's gonna be everybody down to him, and fucking Trump's gonna be in the shit like
Is it working? Is it working?
Is it working? Get the fuck back. And he's like, worship me.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's how it's gonna be.
Do most people believe in aliens? What do you guys think? Do you believe in aliens, Chewy?
I mean, I think there's something out there for sure. I don't think it's just us. The universe is too big for it to just be us.
Apparently when we go to other planets, it's like desolate, right? Like they never have found anything.
That's in our galaxy, no? That's only in our
Yeah, the ones in our galaxy. They seen In and Out on Mars. We're falling into a black hole.
We're falling into a black hole. I'm excited for that. Okay, there's a stingray in North Carolina, and she's pregnant with no baby dad. So the stingray is in this tank, and the tank, there's never been a male stingray in the tank before. So they're like, how did she get pregnant? And it's very, very controversial right now. It's very, very controversial right now. I've seen like tons and tons of the news is covering it. There's hella TikToks about it. I've seen it on Twitter. I feel like Instagram is slow to pick up the news. Unless there's like a really, really good outlet where there's like journalists running the pages, I feel like Instagram is the slowest one. Like I'll see like a bunch of dog videos before I see anything like that's really happening on Instagram. Or like they'll be like, when I was little, I always wanted to race. Look at me now, racist. But like I'll see more of those videos than like something that's actually happening, right? I feel like Instagram is slow. Okay, so there's two things that could be how she got pregnant. One of them is that she's having a spontaneous pregnancy, which means that the babies that she is reproducing are going to be exact clones of her, and that doesn't really happen, but that could be why. Another thing that could be happening is that there's two sharks in that tank, and they've thought that the sharks are too young to reproduce, but they did find bite marks on the stingray. So they might have mated with the stingray, and now there's going to be like an inbred stingray shark species of babies, but we don't know yet. She gives birth next week, and then also maybe well, this isn't a possibility, but apparently stingrays can carry sperm in their bodies for a long time. The females stingrays can carry it for a long time. So they were like, maybe she just has it, but she's never been around a male stingray. So it's just like people have no idea how this stingray got pregnant. So I can't wait to meet her baby. She's due next week.
She said she doesn't care about the Super Bowl, but she cares about her pregnant stingray.
I'm like, let's talk about more important things. There's a stingray. There's a stingray that might have an inbred baby, or it might be an exact clone of her. That's crazy. That's insane. That's like big news, I think.